Hello friends, Mehjabin here. Welcome to another video on my channel, Quick Poetry Knowledge. Today I am going to narrate the summary of William Cowper's poem, The Solitude of Alexander Selkirk. This poem attempts to capture the feelings of Alexander Selkirk, a Scottish seaman who had been abandoned by the captain and crew of his ship and had to spend 4 years of his life as a castaway on an uninhabited island in the southern part of the Pacific Ocean. The tragic circumstances of Alexander Selkirk's life had inspired the novelist Daniel Defoe to write the book Robinson Crusoe. So now let's get started with the summary of this poem. In the first stanza of the poem, the poet William Cowper pens the picture of the marooned sailor Alexander Selkirk. The sailor is all alone in the island in which he had been abandoned by the crew members of the ship on which he had been sailing. In his moment of solitude, Selkirk takes a look at his surroundings and says that he is the lord of everything that he can see around him. This is because he seems to be the only human being on the island, and as a result, there is nobody there to object to his power. From the center of the land where he is standing now to the vast expanse of the sea waters all around him, Selkirk feels that he is the master of the animals and the birds. Selkirk now addresses solitude as if it were a human being. Selkirk now wonders where the pleasures of solitude are. Hermits and learned men have often claimed that isolation is a blissful experience. Selkirk prefers to live in an atmosphere of noise and humdrum. He feels that it is better to live in a noisy environment where there are people all around than continuing his solitary life in that island where he has no other human being to communicate with. Next, in the second stanza, Selkirk goes on to lament that he is totally disconnected from humanity. He will now have to complete the journey of his life all alone. He will never ever get the opportunity to hear the soothing voice of another fellow human being. In fact, he has become so habituated to living alone that occasionally the very sound of his own voice gives him a shock. The wild animals living in that island have now become used to seeing him on a daily basis. They look at him indifferently, as though they aren't even aware of his existence. The truth is that these wild creatures are not familiar with man. They had never seen another human being wandering about in that island, so they don't react to him fiercely. The domestic nature of these wild animals give a feeling of shock to Alexander Selkirk. In the third stanza of the poem, Selkirk observes that human beings are blessed with the opportunity to mingle within a society. They can live within a community, make friends, and love and cherish them. These are some celestial gifts that the world of men gets to enjoy. The poet longs to fly like a dove to the world of men. If he had been blessed with a pair of wings, he would have certainly got the opportunity to experience the thrills of living in a society, befriending and loving people. The occasional company of fellow human beings would have helped to mitigate his pain. His interactions with other people would have given him better knowledge of religious matters and what truth actually means. It would have been a healing experience to him. The playfulness of the youngsters would have given him reasons to rejoice. The wisdom of the elderly folks would have blessed him with knowledge and enlightenment. Selkirk now addresses the winds. He feels that the winds have treated him like their plaything. He begs the winds to bring some pleasant news to him. He is living on a deserted shore. He is eagerly waiting for some hopeful message from the world of men. He knows that he will never get the chance to visit that world again. Selkirk wants to know from the winds if his friends remember him once in a while. He wants to know if anybody misses him. In fact, he even wonders if he genuinely has a friend, although he might never get the chance to meet that person. Next, Selkirk observes that the human mind is very swift. Our thoughts move quite fast. Even the wildest storm cannot compete with the speed of the mind. The speed of the light rays are also very fast, but even the light rays cannot beat the speed of the human mind. In other words, the thoughts of man can move at a rapid pace. Selkirk cites an example from his life and says that his imagination is so powerful that the moment he thinks about his native land, he feels as though he is already there. However, the very next moment, the grim facts of his stranded existence hits him really hard. He remembers that he has been marooned on an island and that he is doomed to pass the rest of his life all alone. These thoughts drive him back to grief. As Selkirk continues to express his sadness, he notices that the seabirds have gone back to their nest. The day has almost come to an end. Dusk has fallen. The wild animals like the lions and tigers are relaxing in their dens. Even in this deserted island, there seems to be a period of rest. This realization makes Selkirk walk towards his cabin. The thought has struck him that he needs to take some rest too. As he retreats towards his place of shelter, Selkirk feels a little hopeful about his future because he knows that there is no place on earth where mercy or divine benevolence does not exist. The possibility that God might shower him with some mercy gives Selkirk the strength to endure his hardships and helps him to come to terms with his painful existence. The thought of God's mercy motivates this stranded seaman to accept his tragic circumstances gracefully. Well, that's all for today. I hope you have found my content useful. Do let me know if you would like me to explain any poem of your own choice. You can type in the comments section. Bye for now. I will get back to you very soon with another video. Lots of love to all my viewers. God bless you all.